up on Sbu TV, Eric Massa's resignation leaves New York looking for a replacement. We found out if one local politician will run. Hello and welcome to Sbu TV. I'm Lauren Adams.
And I'm Katie Beacham. Congressman Eric Massa resigned his seat faced with troubling allegations. Vince Price reports.
Eric Massa announced March 3rd that he will not seek re-election due to a reoccurrence of cancer. 2 days later, allegations of sexual harassment led to Massa's resignation. Massa, who is married, is also a 24-year retired Navy commander. Democrat and St. Bonaventure graduate Catharine Young has publicly announced she will not seek Massa's open seat. When asked to comment, Eric Massa said he wasn't forced out, he forced himself out. Because he said he didn't live up to his own personal code of conduct. For Sbu TV, I'm Vince Price.
Potential replacements include Republicans Tom Reed and John R. Randy Cool.
For many years, high school students in New York State have taken regents exams to assess their understanding of a variety of subjects. But a state budget deficit means some of those tests could be eliminated. Liz Witter reports.
A $9 billion state budget deficit is making state officials look at cutting back.
One of the ways they've proposed to solve it is by putting some cuts in the education realm.
I think this is New York State's way of trying to reduce their expenditures.
By eliminating 13 of the 17 regents exams, the state will save around $13 million. The proposed cuts include some math, foreign language, and social studies tests.
But it would be across the board looking at how can they begin to cut back.
Tagerty and St. Bonaventure's Dean of Education and Graduate Studies, Dr. Peggy Burke, both agree the cuts could be beneficial. Regents exams may not be the answer to assess student performance in the classroom.
I don't think that the regents exams really produce higher standards. I think regents exams are minimal standards.
If we have 50 states and only 2 of them give regents exams, clearly we aren't the only 2 states who can get it right.
Yeah.
So there must be other answers out there.
Without all 17 regents, teachers will be able to use time spent reviewing for the test to expand on more material and teach beyond the state standards.
What they would do is look at the state curriculum guideline and teach to those guidelines, but they would have 4 to 6 weeks more teaching time.
Tagerty says student performance won't be affected if the tests are cut.
Not in a negative way. I think it would produce greater results if we did not have that regents kind of looming over us.
If the tests aren't cut, there are other ways Burke says the state could save money in education. Some of these are eliminating exams translated into other languages, moving to a paperless scoring system, and cutting 3 of the 4 times per year the regents are offered.
This alone isn't going to solve the state budget problem.
For Sbu TV, I'm Liz Witter.
Burke and Tagerty said teacher-created final exams or projects would be a better way to test students.
New York's not the only state proposing education changes. Schools in California are slashing spending because of the state's budget crisis, and that is putting some programs providing a better education for disadvantaged students at risk. CNN's Casey Wian reports.
Every day, these buses bring about 1,200 mostly minority students from some of the grittiest neighborhoods in Los Angeles here to Pacific Palisades, home to movie stars and some of the highest priced real estate in all of Southern California. But budget cuts threaten the busing program and also a better education for thousands of students, including one highly motivated 14-year-old freshman. Maria Morfin is arriving to begin her school day, but her journey began more than an hour and a half ago at her home 27 miles away. It's 5 a.m. and Maria prepares for school. Both of her parents work, so Maria piles into the family van with her father and stepbrothers and heads to the bus stop. Destination, she says, a brighter future. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since I was a 5th grader. It's a struggle because I have to wake up every day at 5 to go all the way here to the bus stop and go somewhere that I know I'm going to succeed, and I think it's worth it though.
Tell me about what life is like at Palisades High School.
Oh, it's like home right there. Like, if I leave, oh God, it's gonna be hard.
Maria's neighborhood high school ranks in the bottom 20% of the state, but her dream is to attend UCLA. Every day, about halfway into her bus ride, she passes signs that remind her of where she wants to be. But for now, she's worried about just staying where she is.
Right here, the teachers, they push you. They want you to succeed here.
The Los Angeles Unified School District pays for these buses with a federal grant. But because kids like Maria and 1,200 others attend Palisades High, an independent charter school, it, not the district, receives nearly $7 million a year in state funds. Facing a $640 million budget deficit, the LAUSD wants to use the federal money for other purposes and says it can no longer afford the long bus trips.
What we're looking at is 1,200 students, so 40% of our student population coming from, the most underperforming schools in LA, losing access to a great high school.
Palisades High says it can't afford the bus rides either. Both sides say they're trying to find a solution before LA Unified's June 30th budget deadline. For students like Maria, time is running out. But the bottom line, the district says, is it will save $1.2 million a year by cutting this bus program. And that would be enough to pay the salaries of 14 teachers. Casey Wian, CNN, Los Angeles.
A local man has hit the jackpot, literally. Nang Tai of Bemis Point won $1.15 million at the Seneca Allegany Casino last weekend. Tai hit the jackpot on the Wheel of Fortune Special Edition Mega Jackpot game. He invested around $400 in the game before his big win. Tai said he plans to pay off bills and take care of his family with his winnings. Sunday's jackpot was the largest ever awarded at the casino. It's the end of an era at the Allegheny Fire Department. Francis Pezzimenti ended a 46-year career as the Allegheny Fire Chief last week when he decided not to run for re-election for the first time since 1972. Last weekend, State Senator Catharine Young presented a plaque to Pezzimenti for his years of service. 33-year Fire Department veteran Jim Billings will be taking over as the new fire chief.
Coming up, a new school year brings new housing arrangements for St. Bonaventure students.
The 2010 fall semester will bring more than new classes for Bonaventure students. It will bring new housing options. Christy Andrzejewski reports.
While considering housing arrangements for next year, upperclassmen can now add Shea Hall to their list of options.
Those four-person suites will be opened up in the lottery for four-person applicants.
Though Shea has been a freshman residence hall since it was renovated in 2006, the university feels its setup is more appropriate for upperclassmen living.
Shea really encourages independent living because it has the private bathrooms. It really is, it fits upperclassmen better, the types of lifestyles upperclassmen like to lead and the types of lifestyles they're ready to lead.
The transition of Shea to upperclassmen has led the university to add the 4th floor of Doyle Hall as freshman residence next year. Residence halls are changing more than just their occupants. They're also adding living and learning communities for freshmen. The program allows students to choose the type of community they want to live in.
So for the freshmen, all freshmen will be clustered either according to a common interest for a theme or a living and learning community with their major in University 101.
Students can choose from 8 living themes, including fitness, substance-free, go green, and other communities. The program is mandatory for all incoming freshmen.
Students already have, incoming freshmen, already have that level of similarity that they can fall back on when the craziness of walking in the first day happens.
For Sbu TV, I'm Christy Andrzejewski.
You don't have to lock your doors to keep out unwanted strangers. All it takes is turning on your computer. Sbu TV's Amanda Ciavarri gives us a look at internet dangers.
If they were drinking 10 hours a day, we'd be very concerned. We'd be like, oh my God, they're an alcoholic and we need to get them into some kind of rehab. But with gaming or the internet in general, I think it's like a lower tier problem.
With websites like Chatroom Roulette on the rise, safety is becoming a concern for those who think the site is easy access to predators.
Chat Roulette, I think, is a social networking site where you log on and you use your webcam to connect with other people anywhere in the world, whoever else is connected to it, and your camera connects directly to theirs so you can see them, you can instant message them, and you can talk to them. And if you don't like what you see, if you're sick of talking to them or whatever, you can hit next and just go to the next random person that's out there on the web. I can see how some people would think it's dangerous because they can see you, they can see where you are.
Now, it used to be where pedophiles could hang out at schoolyards and playgrounds and see kids, and now they can go on Chat Roulette, and you don't know.
With children able to find danger inside the walls of their own home, parenting is in a race against technology.
As a child, if they really want to have access to some of this content, and even if you put on parental controls, the young person sometimes knows how to get around it.
Young says the best way to protect your children is to keep communication.
I think if we can get parents to start thinking about the problems, the potential consequences, they might, at least be able to talk to their kids. They're not going to stop all the problems, but I think they can really do more with prevention.
Young suggested 2 steps to protect yourself online. Don't give out personal information, and report suspicious persons to internet service providers. For Sbu TV, I'm Amanda Ciavarri.
A test done on Chat Roulette showed that when logging on, 4 out of 10 times pornographic images appeared.
There's a unique group of students at St. Bonaventure University whose experiences with a certain program will prepare them to represent this country across the world. Andrea Doneth reports.
St. Bonaventure University is one of over 300 institutions with ROTC, officially named the Reserve Officers Training Corps, which produces more than 75% of all U.S. Army officers. Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Leitch sees 2 reasons why students join.
The desire to serve. Others, they use ROTC as a way to pay for college, knowing that there is a payback for that education, and that is service to the country.
These 2 seniors joined the program for similar reasons.
It's something I've always wanted to do. I have a family history with the military, so it was kind of fitting for me to do it.
I wanted to get an education and go to college, and so this was like combining both of them.
ROTC students know that their college experience is different because of their extreme commitment to the program.
I guess in some senses we don't exactly have the normal college student life. This is a job in some sense for us.
Every year it gets a little bit more tougher because you're committed more to ROTC and you have a lot more roles of responsibility than an average college student would have.
And while most students are applying for graduate school and jobs, these seniors are faced with the possibility of being deployed to war zones in the Middle East.
Anybody who does the profession of arms should be concerned.
That's part of the job. I mean, we're at the point where we can pretty much say that there's a very strong likelihood to almost certainty that we're going to be deployed at some point.
But they feel confident that the ROTC program at St. Bonaventure University has prepared them for the future.
Because the foundation they get here at St. Bonaventure is very important, and that's the nucleus of an Army officer.
You're not really scared because ROTC prepares you.
And with graduation quickly approaching, these soon-to-be officers wouldn't change a thing.
My experiences here have made me who I am, and I'm happy about that.
For Sbu TV, I'm Andrea Doneth.
The ROTC combines classroom time with hands-on experiences and leadership skills training to prepare SBU students for command responsibilities in the Army upon graduation.
Coming up in sports, the men's basketball team heads to Atlantic City, and they're not the only St. Bonaventure team.
There's something you should know about me. I'm cold. I'm calculating. I get what I want. If you get in my way, I'll wreak havoc upon you. I can leave you weak, limp, twisted, confused. If you want to live to see tomorrow, you answer to me, and you answer quickly. I am a stroke.
Learn to recognize a stroke and act quickly. Time lost is brain lost.
And now a look at sports. The St. Bonaventure men's basketball finished the regular season winning 4 out of their last 5 games, and they were rewarded by earning a first-round Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament home game. They were taking on 9th-seeded Duquesne. Duquesne jumped out to a 4-0 start. Then Michael Davenport gives the Bonnies their first lead with the little jumper in the lane. The Dukes would respond with the steal and layup by Bill Clark. Then Andrew Nicholson takes over inside to give St. Bonaventure a 6-point halftime lead, 34-28. In the second half, Duquesne would tie it up as B.J. Montero gets the layup to go, plus the foul. The Bonnies would go back on top as Nicholson throws it down. Then Chris Matthews took over.
With March Madness
6 threes, and here they are.
Swatted away by Saunders, but Matthews counters with a 3. Outside, here's Matthews for a 3. Got it! Davenport with it now. Outside, Matthews got it! Stop him. And here comes Matthews for a 3. You bet. Big mismatches inside. There's Matthews for a 3. He is white hot right now.
He finished with a game-high 28 points. The Dukes would get within 6 with this putback by Damian Saunders, but that was the closest they would come as Davenport provides the exclamation point. And St. Bonaventure is a winner, 83-71. The Bonnies are matched up with top-seeded Temple in the quarterfinals.
It's that time of year again. There's madness in the air. College students are preparing for the chaotic month of March.
With March Madness upon us, college students are coming together to cheer for their favorite teams. To the naked eye, the NCAA tournament is just another way for young adults to drink and have fun, but to others, the tournament means much more.
I think it definitely enhanced the experience because there's a big difference between watching college basketball on TV and watching it here and, hearing about student sections and seeing all this.
I always look forward to watching the games. I always make sure that I fill out a bracket. It gives me a chance to hang out with a group of friends and take my mind off school.
Students are able to relate to their peers through watching them play. Also, by interacting with student athletes in a college setting, it makes it that much more exciting for students to support their school.
The person who sits in front of you in, some class hitting a game winner or something, that's cool.
The unpredictability and excitement of the games attracts fans who normally wouldn't be interested in watching basketball.
So much fun because your mind wanders. You don't have to think about the economy or all the troubles in the world. You can just see who gets the most out of 64 teams, right?
The madness begins this week, and for a short period of time, students can relax and not have to worry about the pressures of the real world. For Sbu TV, I'm Sam Dibble.
Basketball fans can watch a majority of the games on ESPN or CBS.
The St. Bonaventure cheerleaders travel to New Jersey this weekend, and this year their cheering doesn't stop at the Atlantic 10 tournament. Christy Andrzejewski has the story.
The SBU cheerleaders are leaving the Riley Center and competing in the team's first ever competition.
This year we decided to really step it up and try to do something new.
The team will compete Sunday in the Spring Spirit Challenge in New Jersey after they cheer on the men's basketball team in the Atlantic 10 tournament in Atlantic City. In past years, a lack of support kept the cheerleaders out of competition. This year's squad is ready to rebuild their reputation.
To everyone else, cheerleading's not a sport, but to us it is, and this is the way to prove it.
The squad hopes to be in more competitions in the future, but for now, they feel Sunday's competition is a good start.
This is like a smaller competition where they can build up their confidence.
The team has been working hard to prepare for the upcoming weekend.
I actually kept them for the entire spring break, and they had double sessions of practice.
Right now, the squad is set to compete against 5 other teams, but they feel they're up for the challenge.
I do feel, though, that they are good enough to compete and could place very well. So,
for Sbu TV, I'm Christy Andrzejewski.
The competition trip was made possible through the team's fundraising efforts. That's all this week on Sbu TV. I'm Lauren Adams.
And I'm Katie Beacham. For the rest of us here in the Coop Lab, thanks for watching.
Impact version 1 and version 2. Impact is available with Fox and